Dude, can I tell you what happened at the beach? I was in Venice Beach last weekend, and it's me and my wife and a couple friends. Beautiful day. I go out, riding some waves, and then all of a sudden the waves just, you know how sometimes they just come up out of nowhere and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, and the kind of waves where like, it tumbles you and you spin, and then as you come up, there's another one, and as you're trying to swim out, the undertow is pulling you back out into the wave.
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, it's like terrifying, and I start to panic a little bit, and then I hear from behind me, help! And I turn around, and there's this dude, and he's got on swim goggles, and he's slapping the water, and he's going down, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I didn't turn around, because now I got to do it. And meanwhile, like when I was a teenager, I took the junior lifeguard training program, and me and my friends used to get high every morning before our parents made us take it. We get high before the class, totally fucked around, and so I failed the written part of the test. Mm-hmm. And then I failed the physical part of the test as well. So I failed it. Yeah. And so, but I learned enough so that I knew like exactly what you said. I knew that if I approached him head on, he was going to take me down.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I go, you got to turn around for me. I go, turn around. And I get him in a cross chest carry. I said, just lean back and relax. And I start doing the side stroke. And then a wave comes, big fucking wave. And I'm like, dude, hold your breath. We're going to go under. Just relax. We go under, tumbled. I look for him, grab him again. Side stroke, and this goes on. 2 minutes doesn't sound like a long period of time.
And that it is. Yeah.
We got hit by like 5 waves, and I kept stroking, and I was making a little bit of progress each time, and then and my muscles, there was no oxygen left. It was pure exhaustion.
Yeah.
And I finally got to the part of the beach where like my feet could touch the ground. And so now I can't even swim. And so I'm leaning into him and I'm pushing him out of the water, and the waves are coming. All of a sudden, the lifeguard boat pulls up, and some young tan stud dives out of the water, knocks me out of the way, grabs my guy, and pulls him in. And everybody on the beach is clapping away, everybody giving him hand jobs, and I'm out there, and I get sucked back into the wave.
No.
And now I'm like flaring, like, hey, what the fuck? What about me? And so like I finally like pulled my way out, and I like walk back. You know, walking against that undercurrent sometimes can be exhausting. I had nothing left, and I see the guy on the beach, and he gets up and he gives me this big hug, and his goggles are like filled with water. It's just like a mess, and he's like, "You saved my life, man," and I was like, "Yeah, thanks."
Yeah. How old was he?
He was like late 30s, black guy, shaved head. Swim goggles is not a good sign in the ocean.
No,
that's a sign of an amateur.
That's
who doesn't
a real
really
amateur.
Understand. Yeah.
In shape. Like
in shape, but he had a belly.
Yeah. But he was like, wow, he was really like panicking, and
he was done. I mean, when I pulled him, he wasn't struggling. He wasn't helping. He was just dead weight.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I got caught. Did you tell him you like big black tits?
He's like, why are you giving me mouth to mouth? I've been out of the water for 5 minutes now.
I got caught in that undercurrent. So it was in Palm Beach. Dude, I'm just like in the shallow part. And I used to go out a little more. I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this ocean, you know, just like floating, swimming, and there's like decent waves. And I float out a little bit, and the waves are decent size. So I'm like, I'm gonna start going back. And I start swimming, and the current is strong. So I'm like, damn. And it's a little deep, so I swim a little more. And when I finally am able to touch the ground, I try to walk, and the current's too strong, so it pushes me back. So I know, like, don't try to fight it too hard. So I let it push me back, and it takes me back like 10 feet. And I start to swim again, and it's like wave, undercurrent, and I go back again. So now I'm like 20 feet further back than I was. And I try to walk, and I'm just like, I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to actually feel that I'm panicking a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, because like I feel comfortable in the water. You know, I'm not like a amateur in swimming. I used to swim. I mean, I don't feel like out of sort, like, oh my God, what do I do here? But that panic started to rise, and I kept letting it push me. So now I let it like kind of push me to the right as opposed to back. And it's still the current.
Yeah.
It's still, and at one point I'm like, a lifeguard is sitting in the, in his tower,
Yeah.
and he gets down and he looks and he goes like, "You okay?" And I took a second, and I was walking, and I was trying to, and I finally got footing where I was able to get a little momentum. So I got a few, and I went like this. And then when I came up, I was like breathing hard, and I was like, "Dude, I was about like half a second from asking you to come in."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, it looked like it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, this is a big undercurrent here.
Right.
It's wide. I mean, it was like 100 yards wide."
Yeah.
And it was fucking terrifying.
Well, once you panic, then your breathing becomes shorter.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stroking as well. You're taking little strokes.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that the thing to do in that kind of, well, first of all, you look for the waves that are crashing into each other, because that's where what do they call that? A rip current.
Yeah.
Which means the waves are coming at each other and then they're sucking straight out.
Yeah.
And if you're in that, the best thing to do is actually swim out to sea.
Swim out.
Yeah, swim out and then go around the rip current.
Yeah, I think I could conceive of that, but I wasn't going as far as I needed to go to get out of that current.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I had never felt that level of panic like I'd always thought of it as fine,
Yeah.
I wasn't nervous or anything. And that day I was fully panicked.
Yeah. No, it's traumatic. The ocean's no joke, man. The ocean is a strong bitch.
Yeah.
And I went back to the ocean a couple days ago. Went back with my wife, and I went in the water, and the waves were kind of big, and like I found myself not able to go out. I was like, I got some PTSD.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a while to get back in the water again.
When you helped that guy, which beach were you at?
Venice Beach.
You were in Venice Beach?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was probably homeless.
Probably. Why'd you save him? That's who you want to drown.
I could have been part of the solution.
Yeah.
At least he was clean.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, for once in his life. Yeah.
Yeah. But are you a swimmer?
No, I mean, like, so I swam. I was a swim team kid when I'm like 7, 8, 9 years
Yeah.
old. So I was, in pools, very comfortable in the pool. Like it was part of routine.
Yeah.
Just swimming all the time. I mean, I didn't stay on the swim team as I got older, but always swam and was very comfortable in the water. I mean, we got the training. We were swimming all the time, and then the ocean I always enjoyed. I mean, I didn't, I wasn't like obsessed with the ocean. I didn't surf or anything, but again, like it's just I wasn't somebody who was like, I don't want to go in the water.
Yeah.
It just felt normal to me.
Right.
So, but I mean, I've snorkeled. I didn't get scuba certified or anything, but snorkeling was a blast. I did it in multiple places.
Yeah.
And always enjoyed it. I never quite felt that level of panic as that.
Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.